Oh, hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we got the Fool card. Wow, nice. I feel like you're transcending, you know? I wonder if you're in this mode right now where you're ready for whatever's coming next, you know? I feel like you've let go of a lot of baggage. I feel like you're really in some creative energy right now. I don't know if you do like creative writing, or if it's the idea that you're trying to like write your own story, or kind of, what is it? It's one of those choose your own adventure kind of things. I used to love those books when I was a kid. I still do. I feel like this is a fresh start. I feel like this is kind of saying, hey, you know what, that last chapter, maybe that was the end of the book. Maybe this is a whole new book that we're starting, right? I think that there is something about the creative writing. I don't know if that's something that you've done in the past, or that's something that you are kind of thinking about doing, or if this is the idea that you're taking your life in a direction sort of dictated by your natural talents. Yeah. I think you're good at something. I think you've always been good at something. You've always had some kind of a knack or a talent for something. And I wonder if this is really the beginning of just saying, you know what? I'm going to see where that can go. I'm going to see how good I can get. I'm going to see if I can turn this into something. You know, maybe it's the creative writing. Maybe you've always been good at that. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's acting. It could be all sorts of things, right? Let's put this Fool into some context. Right now, the Fool is kind of saying, hey, give me some more cards so I have something to do, right? The Fool is this sort of pure awareness. It's just pure air, right? Doesn't have a direction, doesn't have an agenda or anything. Now it does. Now it's got a plan, right? You got the Six of Swords, and Ace of Swords, Four of Pentacles, good. Eon, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. Now, Spirit's saying that you don't live in the same country in which you were born, right? You've already sort of started over somewhere, yeah? Interesting. I wonder where you're from. Now we've got some Aries energy with a Knight of Wands in the future position. We've got more Aries energy. Interesting. I'm trying to remember the Aries reading that I just did. I think there might have been a reference to Cancer in the Aries reading. Now there's a Cancer reading with an Aries reference. You and Aries got something going on now. You should watch the Aries reading for sure. Maybe there's a strong Aries placement in your chart. Maybe this is kind of you kind of learning how to take some of that initiative in life, you know, learning how to really just invoke your inner emperor, right? And start making some decisions for yourself in your chosen direction, trusting yourself, right? Let's keep going with our cards. Look at that. 10 of Pentacles. That's pretty nice. You've met a celebrity in your life, right? I wish I could talk to you. I wish you would tell me what that was like. I've never met a famous person that I know of. At least I don't think I have. Anyway, Five of Cups in the position of the obstacle, or kind of what we're trying to avoid. That makes perfect sense, right? The Two of Cups is what we're trying to achieve, and that makes sense. We want more love, more connections. We want, and see, the Venus in Cancer is that Two of Cups. We want to unite with what's meant for us. We want to unite with our true, real life. We want to have love, right? We don't want to have disappointment. We don't want to feel like we're underachievers. We don't want to feel as if we are not fulfilling our potential. There's so much within you and so much out there in the world for you to do and experience. We want to come together with that. We want to be able to create our world according to our higher will and aspiration and desires. We don't want to feel like we're missing out. That's a 5 of Cups. We don't want to miss out, right? Spirit saying it's time for you to make a plan. You have this talent. You have this will, this effort, this creativity, this curiosity. You got to do something with it. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here. We're going to put Frankenduck right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will, it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay, if you have a prediction for that card, please put it down in the comments. Let's do it together. All right, let's practice our intuition. Now, looking around at the room here, we see the Fool. We see this energy of kind of ready for a fresh start, right? I'm starting over. I'm starting again. I'm hitting the reset button. I'm going to do it the right way this time. We're going through this doorway. We're jumping to a new timeline. We're going to a new universe where you are the emperor, right? Where you make decisions for your own life, where you have the autonomy, the sovereignty, and the agency, right? To create your own life, to make decisions for you, to bring your energy in the direction that is more in line with your truth, your inner truth, which is this, of course, the Ace of Swords down here at the bottom, right? So we've got 3 major arcana energy. Very good. And the major, I was just telling Gemini this a minute ago, the major arcana energy that we have now, it's less than it was the last cycle. Last cycle, every sign was getting 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards. Now we're getting 2s and 3s, right? So it tells me that you've already done a lot of that spiritual work. And I think this is the result of that. You've come to this realization about your life, that you've got to start the Fool. You've got to kind of start over living your life on your terms. That's great. That's savage, right? Especially this Knight of Wands into the future. You're trusting yourself now. You're trusting your instinct. You're acting impulsively because you can trust your impulses. Okay? You're not reacting against something else. What was something else was this 4 of Pentacles. But let's stay on task. We've got our majors. We've got some fire. We've got some water. We've got some air. We got some earth. So, I don't even know where to start. This is, whoa, this is unbelievable. This really is savage here. I think you're starting a new routine. I think you're maybe even starting a new health routine. We're going to talk about the 4 of Pentacles first, because this is the container. This is the small sort of life that maybe you had before. This is the limited experience, the limited fulfillment, right? Something was sort of holding your, this was like, we're thinking small potatoes, right? We see that contrasted with the 10 of Pentacles over here. So there's an increase, right? But this was a situation that I think you came to the realization it was holding you back. It was too small, It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like this energy where, I don't know, like the town, like your life was just too small to contain you, and so now you have to go on this adventure, this big Fool journey, right? Because there's a whole wide world out there. There's so much more that you're capable of. There's so much more for you to accomplish. So I feel like you're not satisfied with the 4 of Pentacles. This is kind of small town, small house, maybe not literally, right? We live in a small town, small house. But this is the idea that in that spiritual sense, in that creative sense, you were trying to force yourself into a situation that was too small for you. It wasn't allowing you enough creativity. It wasn't a situation that was helping you to kind of expand your talent, to explore your talent or your spirit, right? This was a box that could not hold the Holy Spirit, right? This was a container that was just too small to hold this. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this situation, but I think it was too limited. I think maybe if it was a job, right? There wasn't enough opportunities for growth. There was no path to like getting a promotion. There was no path to any kind of a better position. It was just small. Like that was it, you know? It's like back in the early 2000s, I worked for a moving and storage company. And it was a small mom and pop shop, right? There's only like 5, 6 employees. And in the course of a year or so, like I leveled up in that place to the top. I mean, and where the owners would say, hey, you got to go. You got to find something else to do because we just can't pay you anymore. That you're staying here is like, this is as high as we can promote you. There's nothing else to do, you know, that nowhere else to go anyway in that company. So we linger here, and it feels as if we're sort of squandering our potential. I mean, I was 22, 23 years old. And yeah, I could have stayed there and could have been happy, you know, for a time. I don't know how long I would have really lasted before I just started getting too hungry for something else, you know, to explore and to expand my horizons in a way. And the owners recognized that. And they said, you know, this is holding you back. There's nowhere else to go here. This is it. Like, we're not getting a bigger shop. We're not, you know, the business isn't expanding. This is it, you know. And I feel like it's kind of that way for you right now. That you need a bigger boat. You need what you're meant to do in life cannot be achieved with the limited circumstances. Now, I'm not saying that your job isn't right, or your house isn't right, or the town you live in, or that your life is too small, or anything like this. But I'm saying that you have to explore other sides of you. That's what the Fool is doing, trying to explore yourself and your potential and what you're capable of, the things that you're good at. How far can you take them? What can you do with these things? Expand your ideas of what's possible for you. And so we have to start thinking outside the box. And of course, the Six of Swords is you developing a plan. You have to decide what you're going to do. Okay. The Fool is just raw talent. Raw talent isn't enough. Okay, that raw talent needs some sort of direction. It needs refinement. It needs some skill to go along with it. You know, it's sort of like you're taking your art and you're learning the technique of how to really refine that art, that talent. You know, raw talent isn't enough. You got to have the skills to go with it, to really create, to mold it into something you know, that can grow, that can expand, well, into this 10 of Pentacles, into your best life. If the 4 of Pentacles is you sort of not living up to your potential, leaving a lot of your own creative spirit on the cutting room floor, the 10 of Pentacles is you fulfilling every aspect of your nature to the best of your ability. Okay? Now, nobody knows the full potential of the human beings, the human spirit, right? But you are going to do your very best to explore that, you know, to do as much with yourself as you can, to know what you're made of and what your talents and skills are, and make them work for you the best that you can. And I think the Ace of Swords underneath this is sort of the realization that you had, where you said, yeah, I want more. I'm capable of more. You know, there is more creativity, more talent. There's all this energy inside of you, all this creative energy that needs to go somewhere, that wants to be expressed in some way. Maybe you got the same old job, same town, same house. But this is you exploring the other things of which you're capable. This is you then, after your job, you go home and you're doing your creative writing or your poetry or making music or whatever, right? And maybe it's going to literally be taking you to new places. You know, it's kind of the way the actor from the Midwest town may say, I have to go to Hollywood because there's no opportunity here in this Midwest town for me to be an actor. You know, you got to go where the industry is sometimes, okay? So it could be that the Fool and the Eon card, could be a lot of these cards are talking about you traveling to where you're going to have the most opportunity to do what you want to do. Okay? The Eon card is really this idea that, well, one, I think it's the idea that you're meant for great things. This is your awareness. You're looking for the door. You're looking for that opportunity that's going to change your life. This is you knowing that you have the potential and the talent and the capabilities of doing this. You know what you got, right? And this is you now trying to put yourself in the position to get that opportunity. So in that sense, it's the actor going from the small Midwest town to Hollywood because that's where the opportunities are, right? I mean, I don't know for sure, but you got to go where you're more than likely going to find the doorway. Okay? And this is the doorway to your future. This is that fiery doorway that says you're going to leave the past behind you. Life is not going to be the same after this. This is your new future. We're kind of jumping timelines. We're going to a new universe, a higher dimension here. Okay? Unlike anything you've experienced before. So a lot of planning, a lot of preparation is needed for that. Not just in terms of your skill and honing your talent and refining your talent, but learning how to adapt to this weird world, going from that small Midwestern town to, you know, Hollywood or whatever, might be a bit of a culture shock, right? We're transcending to a higher plane, a higher dimension. Maybe we might have a little bit of that culture shock too, right? As we encounter the entities and intelligences that dwell on that higher plane. Okay? So we have to be ready for that. And I think this is a fiery doorway because we have to leave behind our old life. We have to leave behind all of our preconceived notions about what life is supposed to be. Right? We're here on the three-dimensional plane, and I think intelligences that I talk to sort of look like me, 2 eyes, nose, mouth, you know, a couple of hands and feet, more or less hair. But on the higher plane, I got to leave that image of life behind me. I got to leave that expectation behind me because I might be shocked at what life looks like on the other side. I'm so used to life looking this way that if I don't prepare myself emotionally, mentally, spiritually for something vastly different than what I'm used to, I'm going to be, you know, shocked big time, right? This is a good problem to have anyway. In the future position, of course, we've got this Knight of Wands, which is you trusting your instinct, trusting your impulses. That when your soul says run, you run. When your soul says jump, when Spirit says jump, you say how high. Right? When Spirit says go through the door, you go through the door. Right? And this is the horse and the rider as one unit. You and your instinct, you and Spirit. Who's the rider, who's the horse? I don't know. You figure it out. But it's kind of conscious and unconscious mind. It's kind of our, you know, our soul and our body in a way, or our spirit and our body, right? Creating this creative movement. It's very fiery ambition, the rushing forward with your plan. There's no hesitation. You know, we're hitting the gas. We're getting the green light, so to speak. Yeah. And you're pursuing whatever this is for you. Starting this new life, doing this new thing. Exploring this talent that you have, or this gift that you have, or this will, this aspiration that you have. You're not saying, no, maybe in another life I would have tried, but no, you're doing it. You're not doubting, you're not questioning. We don't have any of the sort of, you know, unpleasant swords cards that we sometimes get in a reading, right? None of that today. Spirit's referencing a small tattoo that you have. I don't know if it's shoulder thing, maybe the back of your shoulder. It's just a small tattoo. And I think it has something to do with this aspiration. It's just like a little character or something. And it's like from back in the day, right? Remember what that was, or why you got it, or what it's supposed to signify, right? Spirit's kind of referencing that small tattoo. Yeah. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now, and as we do that, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. And it supports the channel, and I really do appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you so much. More Aries energy, right? We got that Emperor. Now this is you in this new life, moving forward toward this new life anyway. And you're taking the responsibility. You're taking your life, your fate, your destiny in your own hands. And it's kind of like, I know I am capable of greatness. I know I have so much potential in me. I want to see what that looks like. Fail or succeed, good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my very best to fulfill my nature, to become who I am meant to be. You're taking no crap, pardon my language. This is a family show. I was told that I curse too much on the channel. I'm trying to keep this as a family show. I apologize for my mouth. I'm going to do better about that. Okay, it's a family program. But you're not taking no for an answer. You know, you're going to find a way. And there may be people around you that kind of don't really understand why. Why would you leave this wonderful little town, you know? I think you're always going to have a love for that little town, as I do for my hometown. Not that I think now I'm actually in a smaller town than I grew up in, but you have to go to where the opportunity is for you. Okay? And that's going to be a difficult thing. You've got to have this confidence and this sense of agency, because it's going to sort of tug at your heartstrings a little bit. The idea of having to move forward away from, you're growing and you're leaving behind what has been sort of. It's kind of like a goldfish in a little tank. The goldfish is when it wants to go to a bigger tank. So that it can grow larger, right? And the old tank, nothing wrong with it, just doesn't work, just too small. It's just getting cramped, right? What you are moving toward, of course, is the fulfilling of your potential. This is your best life. The Ten of Pentacles is the picture of your best life. Okay? This is everything that you could be. This is who you are, where you are, and what you're doing in the fullest, like to the max, right? Fulfillment of your potential. And I think this is what you're seeking. You're out there seeking your treasure in life. And I think that's kind of what all of us are being called to do at some point, is to go out and find our treasure, find the life that's meant for us. Okay? This is the best card. And I don't know if you've had a sort of a change in this vision of what your best life is, right? Maybe there was a point where the Four of Pentacles, this seemed like it. This seemed like the potential. I don't know what happened to get us from here to having this vision of our best life, right? There was a wake up. There was some sort of a spiritual experience. There was some event in your life, perhaps, that woke you up to your greater potential. Okay. The Five of Cups is what we're trying to avoid. This is what we don't want. And that's disappointment, that's sorrow, that's sadness. This is a potential squandered, right? This is a future this is the feeling that I get when I say, well, maybe in another life I would have done that, or I would have tried that, or maybe if things were different, I could have been a contender, And that's sad, right? That's sad if you have this wish, this desire, this aspiration in your heart, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try. Really? Come on now. Because I think this is a feeling that will linger with you, even if you try and fail. It's better than not trying at all and then always having this question of, I could have been something, I could have been a star. I could have made something of my gifts, my talents. I could have tried. It could have been great, but I'll never know because I didn't give it a shot. Yeah. Well, this is what you don't want. You don't want that feeling. You don't want that regret. So you're doing it. Two of Cups. I think you're succeeding. I think that this is you sort of creating the world closer to your heart's content. This is Venus in Cancer. It's kind of saying you're going out and getting the life that you desire, right? That you know what you want, and you're achieving that. And this is you able to express your true nature in that authentic way. You're finding your own voice. You're finding your own creativity. You're finding what your talent is and how you can best express it. Whether that's acting or writing or music or business or doing something with animals, I don't know. You're finding your path. You're finding that sort of, I don't know. It's you're finding that which is meant for you, and you're sort of melding into it. It's like you're here and your sort of ideal role is over here, and you're finding it. You're finding that hole in space and time that is just the right shape and size for you. I think we all have one, Sometimes we try to fit ourselves into a hole that's not meant for us. We try to fit ourselves into a life, into a reality, into circumstances, people, places, things that we know it's not right. We know we're just trying to cram ourselves, very, very Procrustean, trying to fit ourselves in there, but it's not right. Why not go out and find the life that is meant for you, that fits perfectly, And then you just sort of ease into it, and I think it makes the world a more harmonious place. You're finding and you're fulfilling your true will. There's a lot of love there. Okay, a lot of love there. You're connecting with it. And this is to me, this is a spiritual experience. Yeah. The phoenix may be an important symbol for you. Look for the phoenix in movies or magazines or dreams or, billboards or wherever, or references to it in your life, okay? I think there's something there for you, that phoenix energy, okay? Maybe Phoenix, Arizona, I don't know. Let's look at the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. What is this going to be? Whatever it is, I think that it is going to help you to realize your potential and to get to your goals, your big time goals, your real life goals here. But I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, maybe it'll be a 10 of Pentacles, maybe it'll be the Empress, maybe it'll be the Chariot, your power card. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what it is. 8 of Swords. No. The 8 of Swords right now, I think this is going to be an energy that's going to help you get to your goals. And what it is you have to free yourself from any of this overanalysis, any of this doubt, any of this confusion, any of this sort of being pulled in different ways, any of this feeling like I just can't, I want to, but I can't, I'm tied up here. Like literally tied up here, right? No, Spirit says you need to formulate a plan. You need that 6 of Swords, not the 8. So get yourself out of this. This is like a web of excuses that we weave around ourselves. I can't do it. I'm needed here. My parents need me on the farm, whatever. No, you go to the big city and live your life. It feels like a movie. But we make excuses, and we sometimes we tie our own hands behind our back, and we blindfold ourselves, and we just say, if I just ignore it, it's going to go away. The 5 of Cups, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. So that's your work right now, is to formulate a plan, stop making excuses, untie your hands, free yourself from what's holding you back, and allow yourself to formulate that plan and move forward. You're tying yourself to the, I don't know, whatever. You're chaining yourself to the floor, let's say. Okay? We got to get out of this. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer, Tuesdays and Fridays Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment, let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.